Okay, so today we're going to need some tulle. I've got 4 meters of tulle. I've got 4 meters of some sheer mesh fabric. I've got some applique material that I'm going to use to create my rose strips, and I've got a stretch fabric bodycon dress. So I'm cutting the dress to the length that I want it, and I'm just measuring the width of the dress so I know how wide I need to make the mermaid fishtail bit at the bottom. So I'm starting off with the mesh fabric. I'm just folding it, and I folded it again. So there are 4 layers here, and I'm going to get the same width that I measured from the dress, and I'm going to just pin that across and make sure it's the same width at the top of the mesh fabric. So what you see here is like a quarter of a circle. So I'm measuring 25 inches all the way around from the top of the mesh fabric just to make sure that it's the same length all the way around. And then I'm going to cut across, and then when I open this up it will be a full circle. The top part is the opening for my fishtail dress, so I'm going to just make sure that it measures up. Then I'm going to cut all the way across, and that will be the opening where I'll put my legs through. And you can do this and create as many layers as you want to, depending on how thick you want your fishtail to be. This is my second layer that I'm doing now, so I'm just going to trace the first one I did, and I think I ended up using about 3 or 4 different layers for my fishtail, but I just didn't show that because it's the same process. Now I'm cutting mesh strips for my to create my ruffle effect for the fishtail, just to create a bit more body. So I'm just creating and cutting lots of different strips ready to ruffle onto the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm going to open up the first circle that I did for the fishtail. This is the one I made out of tulle, and I'm going to get all of the tulle strips that I've just ruffled, and I'm going to start pinning it halfway down the circle, and I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'll take it under the sewing machine and just sew that in place. And this is what's going to create a little bit more body for your fishtail so that it has that fairy full look. So this is after I've gone ahead and sewn it and I've taken all the pins out. So as you can see, it's all secure and in place. Okay, now I'm going to start adding my floral applique strips to the bottom of the fishtail. This is just something that I've done for aesthetic purposes. So I'm just cutting strips from this, and I'm going to pin it onto the bottom of the circle, and then I'm going to go to the sewing machine and just sew that onto the this is like the top layer of my fishtail. I ended up doing this to 2 layers of the fishtail, but I didn't show again because it's just the same process on both layers. Okay, so now we're stacking the layers. So we've got the base layer, which is the mesh. Then I'm just stacking another layer. I actually stacked another layer in between those two, but I didn't show it because I kind of thought it was a little bit too transparent. But yeah, it's the same process. And then once you've got all your layers together, you're going to pin it all together, and then you're going to go to the sewing machine, sew that around so that it's all secure, ready to attach to the dress. So I've turned the fishtail inside out, and I've left the dress right side out, and now I'm just pinning the bottom part of the dress to the top part of the fishtail, and I'm going to sew around that just to secure those two together. Okay, so the fishtails all done, and now I'm just adding some floral applique to the top part now with a hot glue gun. So this is just me doing that bit. And this is pretty much the finished results. This is the final look. It was really easy to make, didn't take long at all. I am actually selling this dress, so if you are interested, it will be up on my Etsy. If you want to see how I've styled this up with hair and makeup, then please go to my Instagram at the Lamina Collection or my TikTok at the Lamina Collection for that. Otherwise, stay tuned for more videos to come. See ya!